is some stones, grasses, and trees. Anything you want to decorate yours with, and of course, your sand. Okay guys, so I've mixed my grout off camera. So it's a simple procedure, just get yourself a mixing pot, get the grout in, add water, stir it until it's in the consistency of melting ice cream or toothpaste. Once you're in that consistency, just about pourable is another way of putting it, you're ready. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get it in. We're trying not to touch the sides, obviously we can clean the sides. So let's do this. Just aim for the middle on the initial pour. Okay. Some stragglers not wanting to go in. Okay. Once you've got your initial pour in your bowl, you're going to need some sort of tool to make everything. I'm just using a humble kitchen knife. And what you're going to want to do is, using a stirry motion, you're going to want to naturally push it towards the corners. Don't worry about putting marks in it and everything. The more marks that you place into your grout, it's just, once the sand goes on, it'll just become features in your Outworld. Okay, so now you start designing what you actually want in your Outworld. So I want the ants' entrance over here to be more level. So I'm going to simply start bringing the grout from other places and then my circle motion just to get them into place. Sometimes this will feel like an uphill battle, but believe me, patience and you'll get it. Okay, I quite like that, so I'm going to keep rounding it up here. Right. So what you do is you just slightly any detailing you want, you do it now. So my idea is I'm going to have a rocky area here, a grassy curve here, and then here I'm going to actually fit a seed dish. So this is for my seed eating ants. This sort of thing now is sort of where I want to be. It's perfect for me. The ants should love this. So let's start with my rocky outcrop up here. And first of all, I want to add some character to it. Right, I've added a little bit of character to that now. This is where we start adding different items. So I'm going to start with my rocks, and you just start putting your rocks in. Pushing your rocks into the ground. If you want any rocks like sticking up, you place them in manually. rocky outcrop needs a bit more help, like so. You want to make sure they're in the grout, otherwise when you tip it upside down your rocks will come out, which is no big deal. But I do prefer to have my rocks permanent. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with that so far. What you've got to think of is the end result. It's like decorating a room. You've got to think of the end result, not what it looks like this second. Okay? So I'm going to take some grasses now. And I'm going to start putting some grasses in. Just pick through what you've got yourself. My grasses are fish spawning mats. It's the only place I could find grasses that weren't too tall. I got them off eBay, but you can just find them anywhere. Another good one is to look for artificial cactuses. They're normally nice and small, and any other extra decoration in a potted fake cactus is all going to be usable as well, so it's quite nice. So you've sort of got to, while you're doing this, think where things are going to go. So I'm going to have a seed bowl, here. My water towers are going to be along this back piece here. So you've just got to make sure you don't put any of your artificial work into one of the hot zones. I'll just adjust that there. Let's have a bit of variety. I'm going to get some single. I've cut these up into smaller pieces just so I have a slightly better control over them. Now this is my first Outworld that I'm not actually putting live air plants in, but if you want to, the trick is to get the plastic cap off a Powerade bottle and put that in upside down into the grout, and then that becomes the holder for your plant. Okay, when you do anything like that, you're gonna want to just push the grout into the center. The sand will do most of the work for you. You just got to make sure it is primed. Nice, like that. I'm just going to keep working. So I've got my feeding bowl. See, I think this one's nearly done. What you want to do is remember that you've got to clean this when they get bigger and establish dump sites. graveyards, that sort of thing. You're going to be in here, so you want to be able to get around. So I think that's looking pretty good for the idea of the ants that these are going to be. So I'm going to push my spares to the side, just looking if there's anywhere for a few speckled rocks. Right, do you know what? I'm actually quite happy with this one. It's a slightly different theme to my others. I quite like the idea of... So, the next stage is your sand. Now, you're going to use nearly twice as much sand as you actually need. What it is you're going to put it on, then you're going to put it on top of that heavy, and then at the end you tip out all the spare and you'll pretty much get your bag nearly back. You're only going to actually use quite a little bit, but you're going to use twice as much in the building process. So I'm just going to start. Sorry if I block the camera in some places, but as I get over here you'll see what's going on. Working my way around. Right, brill. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to go around patting the sand. This will limit bald spots at the end. You can also manipulate the floor at this stage. See, I know my feeding balls are going over, sorry, water towers are going over here, so I'm making sure that's flat. But you need to do this everywhere. This is essentially just pushing the sand into your grout. You need this done. It's not the end of the world if you get bald patches at the end. Nowhere near the end of the world. What you do is you simply make a very watery grout mix and you take a paintbrush, you paint it on and then sand that area, and you keep doing that. That's it so far. Now we're going to do my seed dish. Now seed doesn't need changing that often. So what I'm going to try and do is get one of the older style ant kit bowls. I've wrapped it in some latex from a cut up glove and I'm going to use it to mould a hole. Okay, I'm going to push that in, mould it out, and we'll see you back in part 2.